Heavy D, how are you doing?
Blessed as always, man. Good to be here today, man.
It's been a minute. I know you're doing a lot of works. The other day you came here with Donsky,
Yeah.
and all that. How was the journey into music in terms of production being like for you in recent times?
Well, I mean, I think it's been a great journey so far. I mean, I've never regretted one bit of it. I mean, I love music, so it's been great, I would say. And then every day we improve on what we do and meet people who also lead us the right way. So, I mean, we're blessed.
Are the artists appreciating what you're doing?
Well, I mean, God does.
Oh my God!
Some way, somehow, the universe does. So, I mean, even if they don't appreciate it, I mean, definitely it will come back. It's like a ripple effect.
Okay. All right. So far, so good. How many artists have you worked with? I mean, in Ghana.
In Ghana?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say I've worked with Donsky, I've worked with Adidi, I've worked with Jawais, on only one track. I've worked with Rasbumba. We've done lots of works with Traditional Wall, of course, he is Ghanaian, so definitely, yeah. But so far, yeah, those are the people we work with, yeah.
And
not counting the other ones that I haven't mentioned yet. Miss Wakili is one of them as well.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about this Reggae for Hunger project. Where from that concept?
Well, I mean, it's sustainable food security through reggae music. I feel that I love reggae music, and I've been in this this game for a long time. So why not use it as a way to be able to raise money to sustain food security for kids in Africa. So definitely, you say you dance
a yard
before you dance abroad. So basically, it starts here. We started 2 years ago. We did a feeding program in Bukom and a health screening project. But definitely, that's just the genesis of it. We're looking forward to producing music, creating concerts, just to create a food security. Yeah.
All right. So 2 years ago, this whole food security thing started with you at Bukom.
Yes.
Were they in a sponsorship or everything came from your pocket?
Well, I mean, everything was pretty much self-sponsored. Not personally, though. I had some help from Apostle Glenda Lee, and we also had some little help from here and there. Oh, I had some support also from Michael Asha.
Okay.
So
all right.
Yeah, we had some. The vibe was right, and then what's the name? This water company. Yeah, they provided some water and some beverages for the kids.
Okay.
And then I had some health screening from from Tema as well. Yeah.
All right.
From Pleasant Medical Center. They gave some health screening for the kids, and it was wonderful, yeah.
That was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So what exactly happened last year?
Last year we took a break because we had to restructure and really know, okay, we can do these events and feed them once in a while, but how do we sustain it? So we had to take some time to really plan and figure out how we're going to sustain it by creating more music. So once you go out there, you stream the music, part of the proceeds goes towards the food security aspect of it. And then we also have a concert series we'll be launching next year. Just needed the right time and the right endorsements, right people on board. So that's what we're working on now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Have you approached any artists in Ghana in terms of the A-list, artists that, this is your initiative and, we're doing something for kids. And I believe that, they were once, also kids. You understand me? And I just don't know whether you've approached any of them and...
Well, not directly though, but I did get an endorsement from Rocky Dawood in the beginning.
Okay.
But indirectly, yeah, but not directly though. I just wanted to get the job done because sometimes when you see something and it's really you jump on it, because there are several people out there who are also, doing things of that nature. Not exactly what I'm doing though, or what we're doing as an organization though, but eventually they'll get on board. I mean, I believe they want to see it happen. So once they see it happen, then they believe it, right?
All right. So I look at this particular project and I saw Brinsley Forde on it, and I'm like, how were you able to fish out this, this big, this big act, onto this?
Well, I mean, I think first of all, I want to thank Brinsley Forde for, accepting to endorse Reggae for Hunger and, of course, featuring on this album. The whole thing came about when we were doing the album Come Home to Africa Rhythm, from Tradition Mount Willow's Come Home to Africa. And then we were scouting, different talents here and there. I was thinking, well, what do I do? And, I got to meet Brinsley through a friend of mine whose name is Don Hines. So in the process, I said, well, let me just send it to him and, see how, he's going to react to it. And now, I mean, I would say that divinely he agreed to do it. And I think it was the right vibe. Yeah. That's how come we got him on this project. But, I also approached other artists too, don't get me wrong. And some didn't know it was real, some didn't believe it. So later on, now that we've released the album, now they're asking me, why did you get me on the album? I said, well, I mean, I did send you the rhythm, but you didn't respond to it, right? And then now we want to do a deluxe album in the future. Maybe we will feature some other artists on the rhythm, yeah.
All right, so in Ghana right now, which artist would you want to, feature on this particular project?
Man, you asked some, oof. You asked some tough questions. Who would I want to feature? I would love to hear Dr. Nilante on this.
Wow.
Yeah. I would love to hear Tulok Nana Fin on this.
Okay.
I'd love to hear Rocky Dawuni on this. I wouldn't mind a Stonebwoy on that if sits right with him.
Okay.
But that would be amazing though to have such artists on there, yeah, from GH.
All right, but from the onset you did say that you had Rocky Dawuni endorsing the
Reggae for Hunger, yes.
All right, so
video endorsement.
Yeah, but why didn't you push the rhythm to him?
Well, I think that I think I may have assumed that he's a bit too busy, doing other things. So
you assume?
Yes, I did assume. I won't lie to you. That was an assumption, though. I mean, I'm straightforward, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But I mean, we still, have a good rapport. So definitely, maybe on the deluxe album, he might get on it. Plus, this is not the end of it, though. We're going to come up with several other recordings, albums down the line.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, 53 minutes going into the hour one here on Asaase Radio, the voice of our land. Let me hold on to Heavy D and let's cross over to the US and deal with Brinsley Forde. Brinsley, how you doing?
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Blessed. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Bless up to Heavy. Bless up to you yourself, Lagazee. You're wicked. Listen. Early morning in the US.
Yeah.
Ghana, blessings and praises.
We give
love to come home soon, man.
Yo, it will be amazing to have you home. Trust me.
Everything happens in Jah time, so I'll be there when he's ready.
Definitely. Now, a lot of people might know the band or the group Aswad. You understand me? It was in recent times that I've been hearing Brinsley Forde. I'm like, what is going on? And going deeper into the history of Aswad, I'm like, oh really? Oh wow, they've done this. Wow. Now, I want you to, as a young youth, I want you to tell us about yourself, where you were born, your parents, and all that. How you started, at a tender age as a movie star, as a TV star. You understand me? Hey, we're talking to the superstar right now, you know what I mean? So we have to know all these. So you tell us about yourself, Brinsley Forde.
All right, Lagazee. I hope you have enough time.
Of course.
It's a lengthy journey.
Yeah.
But if I can condense it, okay. I was born into a family of 7 children, a mother and father. My younger sister Lorna loved to dance. She's always loved that. And one day I was out with my mother, and we were across the road from the hall where my sister was performing. And my mother said, well, look, just go over and see if Lorna's ready. I went over and the woman looked at me and said, "Listen, can you sing?" So I said, "Yes." And I eventually ended up doing this woman, Flavia Pickworth, did charity shows for helping cancer. And so I ended up singing and dancing and doing these little shows with her. She then proceeded to get me an audition for Children's Film Foundation. Back in the day, on Saturday mornings, children would go to the local cinema, which was made available for children. There was no TV programs at this time. This was a show called The Magnificent Six and a Half, which is a series made in Elstree, Boreham Wood. It later on was seen and endorsed by 20th Century Fox, and we made the television series called The Double Deckers, which is where most people in England, well, for me, they said I was probably the first young black face they saw on British TV. Moving along from there, when you're acting, I did several things like a small part in the Diamonds Are Forever, James Bond, and different things. When you're acting and you're not actually employed at that time, I took a job at a greengrocer's, and back in the day they would make a design outside, so I was outside putting apples into an arrangement. I turned and looked to my right, and it was like a mirage. Walking down the street was Peter Tosh.
Mm-hmm.
So as he came past, I said, "But you're Peter Tosh." And he hailed me and continued. Now this was, in the middle of Neasden High Street,
Mm-hmm.
which is not an area kind of known for, well, to see Jamaican artists, because obviously this is in England. Anyway, long story short, my brethren, Delroy Washington, took me over to the house, which was like less than maybe 100, 200 yards from where I live. There I met Bob Marley, Bonnie Whaler, Peter Tosh, Carlton Barrett, Aston Barrett, and I think it was Tauta. But all of the Whalers, they had come to be support for Johnny Nash tour. Unfortunately, they couldn't get work permits. So I had been playing music. That was my love. And I took all my instruments and things down there. And as I said, I'm condensing it. I would jam with Family Man, and, I learned to get my flow and love the music. And it really, at this time, Bob wasn't dread yet. They left this house and went to see Chris Blackwell. So this was really early days. This is pre-Catch a Fire.
No, so as you said, around that time, Bob Marley had no locks yet.
No, he just had his hair in plaits.
Wow. What year was that?
This is about early 72, I think.
Oh, I see.
This was really a while, back in the day.
Okay.
So moving forward, a few years later, I came up with the concept of, I was caught in a catch-22. I was a young black actor. There was no parts or very little hope, I think, for black actors at that time. And now I was becoming a man. I was learning about Rastafari, and I had to make a decision whether to be forced into doing children's roles or to find my path in another way, which obviously I chose music, and I decided to tell my story through music. And for that, I decided to form a band. Decided we weren't going to be a backing band. We would be a band that will tell our story, our British story. And the rest is history.
So in which year did you decide that, all right, I want to form the band now? And we're going to call the band this. Who
It
agreed
would
to
have
what?
been late 74, early 75. I was I was actually looking for a name. And I was looking in a book of African names. And I saw the word Aswad. And I was excited because it was a word that would be easy to say. It would be African. And people would probably be saying it without even thinking what it was. And several times now, in this time, people say, well, what does Aswad mean?
What does it mean?
Black.
I think Heavy knows. But it's the story. It's the story of young black people. So Aswad means black.
Okay. So how did you pick the members from the onset?
Well, I was working. No, let me just roll back for a moment. I had been drawing posters on the back of the old cinema posters. The fly posters, these big posters. So I would draw Rastafarian concepts and things and say musicians wanted. A good friend of mine, George Oban, who left the UK and returned to Jamaica some years previous, one day turned up at my house in Neaston, and that was a great reunion. I said, George, I'm writing music, and I used to play keyboard, and I've always thought it would be great to, for you to fit in as a keyboard player. He said, no. He said, right now I'm playing bass, and I love the Wailers. I love how Family Man plays bass. He's really encouraging me to pick up the bass guitar. I said, look, I've just been practically living with Family Man. From that, I took George to Gangsterville, which is on the Harrow Road, and we took the back room, made it our little office, and from that, we started to write and work on the songs that I'd been working on. The next person I think that came in through the advert was Donald Griffiths, who lived just around the corner. So Donald came in on lead guitar. We went through a lot of different musicians that I knew. We would call them in and we'd be jamming in the back room or trying to get things going. We tried several drummers. Unbeknown to myself, Drummy actually came in to the shop. He always tells the story. I was playing the melodica behind the counter. And I said, look, what are you doing? He said, I'm playing for Delroy. I'm playing with the steel band. I'm doing this. And I said, look, this is going to be a serious band. We're not a backing band. And if you're playing with this band, you play with this band alone. That was my idea. That was my concept. This had to be a serious project. And we would rehearse, and we couldn't have the time that someone says, look, I can't do this. I have to do it. So Drummy, with all these things going on, I said, sorry, it's not going to work. Not years later, I would say maybe months later, his cousin Ruzi came into the shop. And obviously the thing came up about, we're looking for a drummer. We've tried out a lot of people. And he said, you should check my cousin. Actually, he's playing under the flyover in Ladbroke Grove later tonight. So George and I went up and heard Drummy play. We invited him to come and have a jam. I went to his house, picked up his drums that evening. And from the very word go, he started playing. I just knew that we had our drummer.
Wow.
Courtney was a friend from school. So we traveled up to Wembley, and Courtney became the last member of the original Aswad. Bunny and Candy Mackenzie, some great friends of ours and great musicians. They came in and helped us with harmonies. And that's how we kicked off.
All right. Wow.
Yeah, it's long. We're trying to
Interesting.
condense it into. So forgive me, Ghana, if I forgot anybody, but Oh,
Inter-
let me say thank you to Annette. Annette was a good friend of ours that lived around the corner. And although she didn't add to us musically, she would just come around and bring some food and share a lot of love for us. So she's really important in the Aswad story. Annette, loving you, man. Bless.
all right, all right, all right, all right. So, in all, how many albums, like in terms of yourself, together with the whole team? I'm talking about like Aswad, until you
We
until you departed from the group. How many albums?
I think we got to be near around 20 albums, something like that. Uh, it's a question you got me out. I thought I knew the history, but how many albums? No, but listen, I'm sitting with two great Ghanaian DJs. Oh, I mean, when you and Heavy started talking, I said, just listen to the voices. It's like honey. So I put in the question to the two man who's supposed to know. It's been a number of albums. It's been a number of albums, Legacy.
All right. So I think going through the research and all that, I realized that the item had 21 albums.
I was close.
Yeah.
Do I win the competition?
So
Sorry, before we go any further, I have to tell you, this was my first time listening to Yaad Settingz.
wow.
And apart from being terrified that nobody could hear me because I tried once, then I had to move again, but loving the program, loving how you fly it out there, man. Love it.
Respect. Give thanks every time, Father. You don't know, man. This is Asaase Radio. 8 minutes got into the R2 here on Asaase Radio. We're live on 99.5 in Accra, 98.5 in Kumasi, 100.3 in Cape Coast, and 99.7 in Tamale. Our guest in the studio right now is Heavy D, who happens to be a radio personality and also a producer, and also online all the way from America is Brinsley Forde of Aswad fame. And trust me, he's telling her the story and all that. Now, around that time, I'm looking into what Bob Marley and the Wailers were doing, and looking at what the item were doing also in the UK. How was the connection like between the item and Bob Marley and the Wailers?
Well, Bob and Bunny have always regarded us as the young Wailers.
Okay.
Bob and the rest of the Wailers had seen us growing from that time. And, Bunny has said, how else would he learn his flow? I was blessed to be able to have shared that experience with I love Bob Marley and the Wailers. I had a little sound system, so I would go and buy pre-releases on a Thursday or Friday when they came into the record shop. So I had different versions of their music. It was really pioneering days. I mean, Bob was obviously the person that set the precedents. And maybe I should say Aswad being the first British reggae band to really sign with a major label. Now, I'm not disregarding bands like Matumbi, who have been out there working, and Dennis Bovell, I call him my bigger brother, So I think the difference with Aswad, we were telling our story.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't trying to represent ourselves as a Jamaican band because we lived in England, and our story to tell was our experiences in the UK. So I think this was the difference at that time.
Okay.
And secondly, when in this time, we're talking now about 1976, which was the release of the first album. Most bands, there were clubs where you could play. and they would use 2-column speakers of, a series of 12-inch speakers. And if the sound systems, got tired of, not being able to play, they would just turn up on the bands. But Aswad came out using a PA. So many sound systems have tried and turned up on us, but we had the power, we had the weight. So this, I think, was one of the things to help people hear the music the way that a band should sound.
Okay.
So it was early days.
All right. But I would like to find out whether the group Aswad had any backlash from Jamaica around that time. Because,
No, there was no backlash. I mean, the first in 77.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just roll back?
Yeah.
In 76, we had released the album. We had done some other projects. We were playing live. One day we got a message that turned out to make me a liar. It was, listen, Burning Spear is doing a tour. Would you like to work with Burning Spear? Now, at Burning Spear, this man was a legend. He was like an elusive person that you just heard this music coming through the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided, listen, this is an opportunity that we can't pass up. We felt that people had got to know us. So yeah, this was something we could endorse and we could do. So we set off on, I think, a 6 or 7 date tour with Burning Spear in the UK. From that came Burning Spear Live. And many people didn't recognize us as a British band. They all thought we were a band that had come with Burning Spear from Jamaica. Now, in 77, we decided to go to Jamaica to record our next album. Mm-hmm. And we worked at Harry J Studio. While there, the Compton twins, tennis brothers in Jamaica, said, listen, while you're here, you have to do a show. You can't, be here and not do a show. I think we'd met several artists, going into Jacob Miller was the person I was thinking of. Mm-hmm. So we said, yeah, okay, let's do this show. Now, we spoke to Spear and said, listen, will you guest on the show with us? Mm-hmm. And at Caesar's Palace, New Kingston, we called out Burning Spear, and lots of the people attended had not seen Burning Spear. They just knew of Burning Spear, that had never seen him live. Wow. So I think that was one of the things that a lot of people from that time remember, seeing Aswad play with Burning Spear. So in terms of the question you asked, backlash, no. We've never had any backlash. I think because of the distribution, a lot of people have said that Aswad was someone they admired. It's just that we've got from Jamaica, giving thanks. We've been nurtured, we've been assisted. Third World, Ibu was a great assistance to us while we were there. It's just been love. It's just been love.
All right. So you made mention of you having a little sound system that you go into the record shop to buy some records and all that. I would like to find out whether Aswad was part of any sound system in the UK those days, in terms of you going into the dance and singing live on the sound systems and all that.
No, we weren't really part of a sound system. I think the concept I had was to create a band.
Okay.
So we didn't really come through the sound system route, such as good brethren like Maxi or Tipperary. Mm-hmm. They came through the Sufferer sound system was Dennis, sorry. Mm-hmm. But we didn't, although all of us could say, Nix, Trojan, Coxon, yeah, we attended all the dances, and that's where we got our inspirations from. But we didn't actually go through that route where we're singing on the sound systems. Obviously, we did it, later on, but it was started as a band, and that's how we continued.
All right. And around the sound system era as well, I know that a lot of people, a lot of sound system were cutting dubs and all that. Did you guys, get involved in any of the cutting of the dubs and all that?
Yeah. That was, when we kicked off and loved the dub culture that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the first show we ever had, I had purchased an Echoplex.
Okay.
So this was the first time that many people heard that dub, and jang, jang, so we had been doing this on stage, and probably it enabled us, because we've used a sound system, not a sound system, but a PA. We used a PA.
Okay.
So this, I think, a lot of people saw us as a band who would, it was said Bob Marley would take the studio onto stage, but Aswad would take the dub onto stage.
Okay. All right. What I really want to know from you, Brinsley Forde, is that the band Aswad, have you ever cut any dub plate for any sound system?
Oh, countless.
Oh wow.
If I can tell you one of the most popular ones.
Yeah.
As we've established, I'm an actor as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I was asked to take part in a film called Babylon,
mm-hmm.
which was really about a young man and his journey in the UK in the 70s. It's really, that's the time portrayed. While making the movie, Dennis Bovell was asked to make the soundtrack for the movie.
Oh wow!
Because I was obviously in a band, I said, "No, come on, we have to do something." So they said, "Okay, you make the dub. You make the dub that for those who have seen the film Babylon, it's a young sound system that has to play against Shaka. Now everybody knows Jah Shaka. Yeah, in person, he was in the movie.
Wow!
And it's like, how can this young group of young men who were led by Big Dread, how could they ever beat Shaka?
Yeah.
So I would be working in the day in the film studio, and at night with my brethren's Drummy and Tony, creating this piece of music. When it was time to record the music, we hadn't got the music presented yet. So for those who know the movie, in the garage scene, when I'm going like this, I'm counting time in. So everyone was acting just to the beat I was giving. Okay. And it was bum, 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 bum. And those who know will know Warrior Charge. So filming that day,
mm-hmm.
we played the music. This is after we'd recorded that part.
Mm-hmm.
We played the music in the dancehall scene. Shaka came running over and said, "What is that? Where you get that music from? I have to have a cut of it." Mm-hmm. So Shaka took that, and it did in real life for Shaka. He won competitions with Warrior Charge, and it just became what it was supposed to be in the film. So it became a reality.
All right.
So this was one of the most famous dubs. But yeah, there's countless of dubs we made.
All right. So I would like to know which song of Aswad is the most cut on dub plate.
I say it would have to be the Love Fire. Later known, Dennis Brown heard it just after coming back from Sheshamani, and Promised Land. So it's now known as either the original name, Love Fire, or Promised Land. And back in the day, English music or music that was made in England was never really perceived as authentic music because, regardless of whatever. But I think that track was taken into the Jamaican kind of, is like some rhythms. The rhythms are, I think every artist in Jamaica has used that rhythm track. The last one was Damian Marley, Distant Relatives. He used that cut. But yeah, that I think is the most famous. The Love Fire, original name, then called Promised Land.
Wow. This is this is big. Yeah, that's because I've heard few sound systems, especially the big sound systems. I've heard them play it, especially from the UK. You understand me?
Yeah.
So
well, even Jamaica. Jamaica.
Yeah.
I was at a Wacky Tuesday in Jamaica, and the DJ was saying, "Yeah, this track here is from Dennis Brown and da 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 da." And I just creeps up behind him and I said, "No, my brethren, this track's made since 1981. All right, it's by Aswad." So
you have to put him right.
Of course.
Easy.
That's a joy.
I like that, man. Wow. So, right now, if someone wants to cut, if a sound system wants to cut that on dub, you understand me? Who is it? Who is the sound system going to contact right now? You or the current members?
Well, no, I think the best thing right now, and I'm going to decide, we haven't spoken about this.
Yeah.
But in Ghana, they can give their details to my brethren, Heavy D.
Yeah.
And Heavy D can make contact.
Yeah.
That's no problem.
That shouldn't be a problem. All right.
Oh, that's not a problem.
All right. So let's move forward. In 1996, the story said Mr. Brinsley Forde departed from the band for spiritual reasons. And I just don't know if you can explain to us what is meant by spiritual reasons. That
wasn't Lagazee, King Lagazee?
Yes.
That wasn't something that was said by me. Okay. That's something I just heard, just like you. There was, I think, in any journey, sometimes you have to take another path.
Yeah.
And that at that time was something that happened then. Why the Almighty put me on a journey, I don't know. But I'm just living the life, and He's had me on a long hiatus. But I think life, there's lessons to be learned. And I've had a journey. At the moment, I'm based in Poland. Why I arrived in Poland, I don't know. But I was invited to Poland in 1989 and became the MC of their reggae concert near the Gdansk shipyard. And the journey has involved people like Bob Andy, Norman Grant, who gave me a call a few weeks ago and says, "Listen, my guitarist can't come over. He's got a very famous album with the Chibuki, the people from the mountains." So it combines the music. And he said, "Look, I know you're there. Can you find me a guitarist?" So I said, "My brethren, look, just send me the tracks. I'll work through them." And I think I just arrived at the concert. We may have had the time to listen through it, but I played guitar for him. So, there's reasons that you end up in places. Mm-hmm. And that was just a journey, to answer your question that you asked me, first of all. It's been a journey that has taken me to many places. Mm-hmm. But I'm enjoying it. I'm playing music. Mm-hmm. And we had made lots of music together since. So it's always been a joy. Sadly, we lost George Oban, the original bass player. We lost Mikey Campbell, who was our manager and did a lot of the productions with us. And Drummy. Sorry?
Easy.
All right.
Sorry, I missed that. Can you say it?
All right. So there is one thing that I would like you to clarify for me. And if you form a group, you are the brainchild of the group, right? You set this up from scratch up until now. So what exactly would be the reason that Brinsley will say, all right now I think it's about time for me to move, but the group is still alive and kicking? What could be this reason? If it is not spiritual, as the story is saying, what could be the reason?
well, I have to come back onto what I said, because everything is spiritual.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have to make journeys, and we to say why it is. It's not a clear-cut thing. It's not that we had arguments or anything. In fact, a story I was telling just the other day, the island anniversary party. So I was working with Sly and Robbie, and we decided, I called Drummy and Tony, or Les, their manager, and said, listen, I'm doing the island thing. Let's present an Aswad situation. So while the rehearsal was going on, we're there, we're laughing and joking, Robbie taps me and takes me outside. And he said, all of the island company have it that, Robbie, you're going to have to separate these two men, young men. They're obviously going to be fighting against each other. Robbie said, why? All I can see is love between you. Well, how could these people think this? But in every situation, people create this idea that there has to be some kind of war going on. There has to be some reason for a division. Just the other day, I noticed something online that says the rivalry between Steel Pulse and Aswad.
I was going to ask that. I was just coming to that.
Gosh, listen. Before we were playing in Birmingham, the bass amp went. David took me to his rehearsal room, and we got the bass amp. We used this. When one day I was sitting in Ireland and saw David, and I think it was Fonzie, turn up in Ireland. They didn't know where to go. Greeted them and took them to see Leslie Palmer. So our story has been intertwined in helping each other. And as you know, coming soon, maybe this year, will be the band that has Dennis Bovell, Matumbi, David Hines, Steel Pulse, Brinsley Forde, Aswad, all called Three the Hard Way. So we've done some work at the Royal Albert Hall in aid of helping children. So yeah, we don't have any rivalry. We work together as one, and to show that three main bands can come together and work as one. So
wow.
Easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 29 gone into the R2 here on Asaase Radio, the voice of our land, and it's I'm enjoying the Aswad story and all that, whether spiritual or no spiritual. Please, let's focus. Please focus.
Easy.
Focus. We're live on 99.5 in Accra, 98.5 in Kumasi, 100.3 in Cape Coast, and 99.7 in the northern region, Tamale.
Easy.
Now, I would like to say congratulations to you for Aswad getting 3, nominations at the Grammys. It's not easy to be recognized with a full body of works. I know artists who purposely go into the studio to go record because they want the Grammys attention, and they don't even make it to what do you call it? The first stage is
we understand. I think what you mean.
The second stage.
I think that what's happened now, Aswad, myself, are from a time where what we do, we conceived as our work. We were fortunate to be able to be paid for doing something we love to do. Okay? I think in this time we have a culture of people wanting to be a celebrity. So they want all the trappings that they see as a celebrity. So someone goes into the studio not to play or make a song that will last, but to make a song that will allow them the attention. So I need a Grammy because I've seen all the stars walking up to collect their Grammy. This is what will make me an artist. So go back, I think, to the question you were going to ask.
Yeah, I am saying that some artists don't even make it to the consideration level where they will say, oh, your album is being considered for the Grammys or is being shortlisted before maybe out of maybe 20 albums or 30 albums or 50 albums, they will say, all right, we are picking this 5 or 6, to compete at the final level. But the item has been able to, break the ice, and then you've been there 3 good times. I would like to say congratulations to the Aswad team as well. Now, talk to me now. As the story says, in 1996, you decided to, depart, from the group and all that. Now, what has been happening to you? I know you've been releasing some singles and all that, but is there any plan of maybe putting out an album or something?
Definitely. Watch out for the next couple of years. I'm regarding 2026 as the proper 50th anniversary.
Wow.
Because I'm going from the release date of the first album. As I said, the 50th anniversary is really from 74 for me, because that was my concept of the band and creating the band. So leading up, we'll have a series of, I'm in America at the moment, writing and recording for the album that will be coming out maybe early next year, but then 2026 will be the 50th anniversary year, and watch out for that brand new album that's coming out then. So lots of music coming out in 2025, but the giant album is going to be 2026 for the celebration. Hopefully we'll have the documentary and the book, the autobiography, should be coming out then as well. So
okay.
Obviously, King Lagazee, Heavy D have to be in that book as well.
Of course.
Of course. You'll see it.
Yeah, man. Now, let me bring you home. Now, there is a project in front of me right now. And for some time now, me and Heavy D, we've been talking a lot on the phone about this project in terms of how to go about it and all that. And then he said, yo, the Reggae for Hunger project, I've got Brinsley Forde on it. And I'm like, wow. How did he accept, to, because there are some of these artists that I've been dealing with artists all my life, like nearly 30 years now. So I know what exactly I'm talking about. Some of these artists are so arrogant. When you talk to them, they don't take no program. They don't even recognize you. So I'm like, Heavy, for you to hold a big superstar like this on this project, this one you're gone. Let me ask you, how did that happen? How did you find yourself in here?
He had the magic word, Lagazee. He said the magic word. You want me to help you out there, Heavy?
Yes, please do.
The magic word was children.
All right.
As a father of 11, well, I had 12.
Wow.
I'm a father of 11. grandchildren and now great-grandchildren.
Wow.
Okay? African children down there. And many other songs relating to children.
Mm-hmm.
They're our future. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing. You're as record personalities,
Mm-hmm.
radio personalities, a young child somewhere is going, wow, I want to be like King Lagazee.
Mm-hmm.
When I grow up, I want to be like Heavy D. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, music and sports were the first things to help
Mm-hmm.
our children to decide, oh, I can do that. So the fact that it involved children, and can I say, actually, the T-shirt I'm wearing right now was invented by a friend that I met here in San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe he's in Ghana right now, training the Gold's Black Star water polo team. It's the young youth water polo. Okay. So this was also about children and inspiring them to, you know, and showing them that they have worth. So the magic word for me with this concept was children. And yeah, I think Heavy, I really respect the work that he's doing and to see the progress that he's making there. So, yeah.
All right. Now, Heavy D, let me ask you, is there any plan of having a mega concert where, you know, big superstar like Brinsley Forde will step in, you know, in this particular phase?
Well, I mean, definitely that's a part of the plan. That's why we collaborate with great DJs like you as well, because we know that we can't do this without you and the fans out there. So yeah, definitely there's a plan.
All right. Because I've been looking forward that you know, something should happen.
Definitely,
something must happen.
Definitely. I mean, like it's been a long time coming. I mean, we've put together shows back in the day, you know, really huge shows back in the day, and definitely we need to have that quality back on stage. Not to say that we're not having quality this in this era, but there's a missing element that we must bring back to the table, and you know, it's definitely we have to collaborate with great people like you, and we just look forward to getting some good sponsors out there, and we're going to make it happen.
All right. 39 minutes going into the R2 here on Asaase Radio, the voice of our land. You know, our guest online via Zoom is Brinsley Forde of Aswad fame, and in the studio I have Heavy D. We're talking about the Reggae for Hunger project. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, we're talking about that, you know. So everything good and everything is all right?
Yes.
Yes, all right.
Yeah, let me say this though. Let me say this rhythm was actually inspired by Traditional Nwolo's song "Come Home to Africa."
Come Home to Africa.
Yes, he actually, you know, that's wonderful music, basically. So he's behind this production executive wise.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to big him up, definitely. You know, this wouldn't have happened without him.
Yeah.
Of course.
Love to want to big him up as well.
Definitely. So
yeah, definitely. Enough big up to him.
Since we have Brinsley Forde online, I would like to go into the juggling, but I would like to start with Feed Them, Mama Africa. I would like to ask Brinsley Forde to do me a favor and introduce the song whilst I play it.
Yes, here on Asaase Radio, Yaad Settingz with King Lagazee himself. In the studio, we have Heavy D. Enough respect to all of the musicians and artists on this radio. But here's the one by Brinsley Forde. It's called Feed Them, Mama Africa. Easy. Take it away, Lagazee.
We gotta feed them, Mama Africa. Heavy D, talk to me. Is it out on all digital platforms?
Yes, it is out there. Traditional Nwolo's "Come Home to Africa" rhythm.
Okay.
It's out there, yes.
All right. It's out on all digital platforms.
Yes,
so
it is.
Go and stream it and support the children. Don't. Oh.
Just want to pick up again Traditional Nwolo for making that beautiful rhythm. And that one was also from another youth, Jazzwad. Jazzwad retouched that rhythm.
Yeah.
Jazzwad,
Wow.
a young man that used to come to rehearsals, and I'm just so proud of him, man.
I know-
Jazzwad and my son, just Jason.
Yeah.
My son's been out there. He just did the Black Uhuru album.
Wow. Wow.
So, yeah, man, two young producers out of the UK.
All right. I think I know Jaswad, and he's a half Ghanaian. You know.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
No, half Ghanaian. He's completely. No matter where you come from.
As long as you're black man, you're African, don't it?
Oh, you said it, King Lagazee.
Yeah,
Tell them.
Yeah, man.
Listen, I'm at the moment, sorry to cut you
Yeah.
there, but one of my, how can I say, things that I'm looking forward to is singing that song in Ghana.
Wow.
So, and I'm talking live and direct. You know what live and direct means?
Yeah,
Live and direct.
Yeah. In person.
Live and direct.
Yeah. Yo, I love the rhythm, and I love how Brinsley kind of, I don't want to use the word attack the rhythm. You understand me? like how the man sit on the rhythm comfortably. You understand me? The clarity of words. You understand me? The message. You understand? What exactly inspired, this particular piece?
I'm gonna leave that to Heavy, really, because he asked me to do this, and for me it wasn't okay. You're going out there to create this record. I think it's to tell the message of what it's about. Mm-hmm. The message is to be able to share the thing that has been my work for many years that I love. It's the music. Mm-hmm. And how do we do that? It's getting the message across to people of all walks of life that some people may not like reggae, but I hopefully did it in a way that people could hear the message and what the message meant. And that, this morning, a young child who looks like me, looks like you, looks like Heavy, looks like many of the people listening to your program. And something that my father left me with. My father said, life is a gift, and the way you live your life is your gift to others.
All right. Easy. You hear that, massive?
Life is a gift.
Life is a gift.
The way you live your life is a gift to others.
Definitely.
The way you live your life is your gift to others.
Wow. That is deep. So we're looking forward. All promoters listening to us right now, you heard Brinsley talking. He said live and direct.
You mean live and direct?
Live and direct. And on the go round thing, you understand me? Live and direct. You understand? Not virtual, but live and direct.
Easy.
Truly.
Yeah, man, he's ever ready. You understand me? So if you need anything, if you need any link up, Heavy D is there. Why not? We can put pen to paper and make everything happen.
Easy.
And
you want to say anything?
No, it's okay. All right. It's okay.
So Heavy.
Yeah.
What exactly is the way forward now? Are we going to see some videos and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, the way forward is we're looking forward to a video, but that has to be sometime early of next year. We have only one video out for the rhythm, though. 2 videos out for the rhythm. The Come Home to Africa original song by Traditional Mawolo and then Donski's Sweet Africa.
Okay.
So the next in line I'm looking forward is Brinsley's Freedom of Africa.
Okay.
But we have to set it up right, where it'll involve the kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So We're putting some
Well,
stuff together.
Okay.
I mean, that video can only be made in one place.
Ghana.
In Ghana.
Okay, I just King Lagazee.
Yeah, man.
Remember that. Just set to Heavy. Remember that. Record that for Heavy.
You know.
I know you work. I know your work.
Of course.
You know it.
Of course.
No,
of course. Of course. Let's put in the work and then let's take it forward. So the video now with Brinsley had to be in Ghana.
Definitely.
You know, so how soon is that going to be?
Well, I think we'll talk behind the scenes.
Okay.
It should come as a surprise, though, but definitely it's in the works.
Yeah, man. But
I think if I can just step in there, King,
yeah,
we would really need the help from Ghana.
Of course.
Because I think that let's not lose track of what the whole effort is about. So if we get the help from Ghana in terms of purchasing the produce or helping or you know, if there's any voluntary situations, that will lead to the shows and everything else, because really the proceeds are going to help the children. So this is where we reach out to Ghana to help in any way that you can to allow these things to happen.
All right. In wrapping up with Brinsley on the other side, I would like you to advise us. You understand me, especially the youngsters coming up. You have been there, you've seen it all, you've toured the place, you know, you've gone to places, you know how the system set like and all that. What advice do you have for the rising ones coming?
Well, I'm gonna use part of the lyrics of that song. It's we have the handle, them have the blade. So we need to stop looking at the West to advise Africa. Everything is in Africa. Africa is the beginning, the end. Everything is in Africa. Just open your eyes. Don't look for what you can see over here. We're here. Yes, we've been successful in certain things, but we all want to come home to Africa to learn and share what beauty and joy Africa has. So that's the advice. Love where you are, love Africa, respect Africa, because you are those who are going to teach us when we come home. So it's going to be, as Dennis said, no man is an island. We're coming to learn from you, and hopefully we can help and show you the experiences we've had. But let's look at Africa first. Africa is where it all is. The West come, they take everything to make their cell phones. They do everything and take from Africa. It's time now. We have to know that Africa is the future.
All right. All right. Brinsley Forde, I would like to say big respect and thank you so much for your time and speech, for talking to us on Asaase Radio, the voice of Allah, 99.5 in Accra, 98.5 in Kumasi, 100.3 in Cape Coast, and 99.7 in Tamale. We would like to say thank you so much.
Give thanks. Give thanks. It's been a joy. It's been a joy. It's been early morning for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's way early. I think we're about 8 hours behind you.
Wow.
So it's been a joy. Let me thank once again Tradition Man Wallow for making a great rhythm, Aswad for doing the remix, and Heavy D for your work with this project. And I pray that it's going to just grow and grow and grow within the coming years. So Ghana, Asaase Radio, Yaad Settingz, King Lagazee. Enough respect.
Blessings. Now, Heavy.
Yes.
Let me put you on spot. On the project, which one is your favorite?
Which one is my favorite?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a big one. I think the whole project is my favorite, though.
Well, remember, it's like his child. It's like his child. You
You can't hate one and love one. But anyway, I mean, the whole project.
Each one is a joy in a different aspect.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I have to help him out there, Lagazee.
Oh God! So you don't have a favorite?
No, not really though. But I mean, every song has its category though. But pertaining to the kids, yes, definitely. You know, Feed Them Mama Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in terms of you know, a newcomer, that was her first on reggae. I would say Miss Wakili's One Man Down. And then we had Adidi with Noko Nice, which is also so there's some God twist to it. So definitely, I mean, the whole album is nice. Donsky, and then we had Noah Morgan there with this you know Noah Morgan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he featured on that you know, as well. So it's a great album overall, but yeah. You know, maybe when the deluxe comes out, then I'll decide.
If they put you on the spot, there, big time.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, you know,
Heavy is going around it. You know, he's going around it like this.
No, but I mean, anyone who loves music. So definitely, I mean, but traditional world though, I mean, pretty much put a lot into this in terms of, you know, his even believing in what we were doing. You know, that alone is a big thing for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Heavy D, I don't know, but I'm waiting for the deluxe, you know, album project.
You know what I'm waiting for though?
What exactly?
I'm waiting for a clash between me and you.
Oh God! Oh gosh! No, hold on. You can't have this clash unless I'm live and direct.
Brinsley, is it? You know,
yeah, but hold on. Before we go any further, I just want to congratulate you.
Respect.
Right? On your sound system clash in Jamaica.
Blessed. Give thanks.
Tell the country about it. Please, like I said, tell the country about it.
So, here is the thing right now. In Ghana, we have few sound systems in Ghana. You understand me? If I say I want to count properly, we have like sound system like 15 which are cutting dubs, which are into clash and all that kind of thing. But the main thing is everyone is scared to lose. Every one of the sound systems are scared to go into a competition and lose. But I keep telling them that if you don't learn how to lose, how would you win? You understand me? It took me sleepless night, and as I'm talking to you right now, 3 days ago, the whole night I was on phone video call with Rashailu cutting dots for me. You understand me? Last night again, I was on phone with Major Macro cutting dots for me. You know, so if you don't know how to sacrifice certain things, especially your time and all that, you can attain certain things in terms of sound system culture.
Well, you know, my style is not sound system culture. My style is radio culture.
So right now, as Heavy D speaking, right now, I know where Heavy D belongs.
But you have something coming though. You have something coming in December. I know.
Of course.
I know about that too.
Of course, but looking at African stars, okay, so here is the thing now, I'm so happy that Brinsley is there because I know he's going to bless me with a thing, at least a thing or two, you know, to go into that big clash. You understand me with African star. Well, no disrespect to African star, I rate him because he's been there, done that. He's our father. You understand me? Yeah. But you see, sometimes when you teach your children and your children grow up, you're supposed to sit down for them to rule.
Okay, I'm sure African style is this. Yo, my glass, man. Biggie, what? Biggie, you heard it for yourself, man.
So I was telling Michael Asher last night that Michael Asher, you know, African star is a old man now.
He told me.
You understand me? But I said to him that he's an old man now, and I am so surprised that he's pushing the old man onto this battlefield. You know, when dub plate start fling, I'm start slapping him up with dub plate. I don't want him to end up in the hospital. Please.
Easy.
So you and him will clash on the stage. Me and you will clash on radio live.
All right. No problem at all about that.
Okay, man. Good times.
Yeah, man. Respect every time. It's been lovely with Brinsley Forde and also Heavy D in the studio.
Give thanks.
I really appreciate this moment and all that. You understand me? And I hope we could do this again. And I want to tell Brinsley Forde that this is your home. If you have any single to release, if you have anything, my doors are open.
It'll be with you ASAP.
Respect, Father. You understand me? Give thanks.
Every time.
Give thanks for your time and space. And Heavy D.
Yes, King.
Blessed for coming through every time.
Yeah. To those out there listening, I want you to go to Reggae for Hunger, spelled Reggae, the number 4 Hunger, on Instagram and Facebook. Just follow. You get more information as we go along.
All right. Every day you're saying something.
No. Brinsley was saying something.
Yeah. You were saying something, right?
Yeah. I want you to give us the you said we have to phone somewhere and then we have to put in a number. So we need your number once again to vote for the number 1 sound system DJ.
Yes.
All right. So here is the thing. If you want to vote for King Lagazee to win the best reggae dancehall DJ of the year, all you have to do is pick up your phone and dial star 714 star 66 hash, and then you send. When you send, take your time, wait. It will ask you to enter the nominee code. My nominee code is 531. And then when you enter that, it will go straight, and then you can vote any amount you want to put in. You have to spend a little bit of change, so you can put in any amount you want. You know what I mean?